Title: The Fuse They Lit. A decade. I poured 10 solid years into that company, transforming a sluggish, small-town operation into a $100 million beast. I fixed the finances, opened new markets, brought in the right talent, and covered for the ones I shouldn't have. I gave it my all. Late hours, missed celebrations, my entire 20s, and now here I was, being dismissed by my wife's kid sister in a boardroom full of people I had personally brought on. "We won't be needing your services any longer," she said with a smirk, glancing at her boyfriend, lounging near the end of the table. A smug little tech guy barely out of college, the same one who once tried selling me a crypto scam dressed up as a mobile app. I didn't flinch. Not a word. Just smiled, because I already knew tomorrow was going to be interesting. When I married into their family, the company was in shambles. No structure. No direction. My father-in-law ran it on blind faith and handshakes, loyal to a fault, and surrounded by relatives collecting salaries for doing nothing. He brought me in cautiously. After all, I wasn't family by blood. But I proved myself. Got real results. Within 3 years, he called me the son he never had. And that probably lit a fire under Lily, my wife's younger sister. The rightful heir. Entitled, impatient, always trailing behind. She once called me a numbers robot in a tailored jacket. Claimed I was too rigid, not creative enough. Translation: I refused to bankroll her pet projects. Even so, I shielded the company, from her included. Then came Logan, her slick-talking boyfriend with his buzzwords and shiny presentations. I saw through him instantly. He wasn't after innovation, he wanted control. And I was in the way. So, they made their move. After the old man had a stroke, Lily was named interim CEO. A legacy decision. Family politics. Within a week, she'd shuffled the leadership. By the second week, I received an invite to a strategic realignment meeting. That was code for what came next, the blade. "You've got until the end of the day to clear your desk," she said. I nodded and kept smiling. She didn't know I had already packed months ago. I always knew this day could come. That's why I quietly prepared a safety net. Started a holding firm under someone else's name. Gradually bought out suppliers we relied on most. One by one. I even purchased the buildings housing 2 of our busiest branches. Lily assumed the company owned those properties. She was wrong. I owned them, personally. After that meeting, I went back to my office. No drama. No calls. Just a single folder on my desk. My termination letter, signed and dated 3 weeks before today. So this had been planned well in advance. I chuckled, because so had my counter. That evening, I stayed behind. One last walkthrough. Said goodbye to the night shift manager. Studied the wall where plaques bearing my name hung. Then on the whiteboard, I left one word: congratulations. The next morning, I came back. Not to grovel, just to witness. At 9 a.m., their system access crashed. Software licenses I personally held had been revoked. At 9:15, the delivery trucks stopped showing up. The new supplier, my holding company, now required inflated payments, up front. At 10 o'clock sharp, their operations VP burst into Lily's office, furious. That's when I walked in, uninvited and calm. She froze when she saw me. "What did you do?" she demanded. I placed a folder on her desk. Inside, formal lease termination notices. They had 30 days to move out, or accept a tripled rent. I added, "By the way, your boyfriend missed a renewal clause." Rookie oversight. Logan stumbled in half an hour later, panic all over him, trying to smooth things over. "I'm sure we can figure something out," he said, that fake grin starting to crack. I stared him down. "Your app pitch," I said. I passed it to a friend at the SEC. They flagged some interesting phrasing in the investor documents. The blood drained from his face. Then I turned to Lily. "This wasn't about the position," I told her. "It was about respect." "You think this will ruin us?" she snapped. "No," I said. "You already did that. I'm just making sure the right people survive it." That afternoon, I walked out of that building for good. Past the receptionist, The same one who used to smile and bring me coffee before they trained her to report on me. She couldn't even look at me. I didn't break eye contact. 3 weeks later, the company filed for restructuring. Half the board quit. Lily resigned, citing personal reasons. Logan, under federal investigation. As for me, I'm doing just fine. Launched a new firm, leaner, sharper, profitable from day one. They say revenge is best served cold. I disagree. The best revenge is executed with planning, paperwork, and silence. They gave me 1 day to leave. I made sure they'd never bounce back. Because when you spend 10 years building an empire, you know exactly where the cracks are, and precisely how hard to press. They thought firing me was the end. It was only the spark.